Throughout the history of the Jewish people, the Chasam Sofer is from the most celebrated of all of our Gedolei Yisrael, and therefore I'm extremely excited to begin this new series of all Parsha, the Chasam Sofer al HaTorah. Now the Chasam Sofer has many writings. We have Chasam Sofer al HaTorah, we have Torah's Moshe, we have Drashos Chasam Sofer, Shal Sechuvas Chasam Sofer, and this series is going to be gleaning from all of the above. So let's begin immediately. The Chasam Sofer has a wondrous observation. You see, if you look in Sefer Bereishis, you'll notice in the beginning of creation, Hashem's name appears as one specific term, Elohim, 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 Elohim. In fact, B'Masa Bereishis, Sefer HaYetzirah points out, the Shem Havaya does not appear. The Shem Elohim appears 32 times. This corresponds to Lamed Beis Nesivos HaChachma. However, when creation is finished, all of a sudden, we don't have Elohim anymore. Now it's Eile Toldos Shamayim Va'aretz B'Hibaram B'Yoim Asois Hashem Elohim. And we have Hashem Elohim many, 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 many times. And then after that, it's either Hashem or Elohim, and we don't have the term Hashem Elohim until Parshas Va'era. So 32 times Elohim, followed by Hashem Elohim, and then it's either one or the other. Comes the Chasam Sofer, and the Chasam Sofer has a wondrous observation. So, after the beginning of creation, where Hashem's name appears only as Elohim, and then we have Hashem Elohim, we have the Nachash HaKadmoni. Listen to this pasuk. V'hanachash haya arum mikol chayas hasada. The snake was the most deceptive of all the animals. Asher asa Hashem Elohim. Again, because after Masa Bereishis, it's Hashem Elohim. Vayomer el ha'isha af ki amar Elohim lo yisaychlu mikol eitz hagan. Elohim said, don't eat from all the trees of the garden. What happened? I thought after Masa Bereishis, it's Hashem Elohim, Hashem Elohim, Hashem Elohim, many, many times, many tens of times. What happened over here, where the Nachash omitted the Shem Havaya? This is the diuk of the Chasam Sofer al HaTorah, Divrei HaMazchel, V'Atereh Ha'isha. Says the Chasam Sofer, this gives us a vista in understanding that which the Gemara tells us in Sanhedrin Lamed Chesam at Beis, Adam HaRishon Min Haya. Adam Rishon was an api kairas. You see, Elohim means that God set nature into motion. Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, means Hashem is able to override the system. He's Mahave Kol Havayos. Elohim is Gematria Hateva, nature. However, Havaya is Hashem's ability to override nature. So the Nachash was very deceitful. The Nachash says to Adam, didn't Elohim say don't eat from the tree? Meaning, you don't have to listen to him. He's not Hashem Elohim. He's just Elohim. This was the deceit of the Nachash to minimize the power of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the eyes of Adam. And therefore when Chazal say Adam was a min, it means he bought the criticism of the Nachash that Hashem is just Elohim without the ability to be Mahave Kol HaHavayos. The reason why this observation is so astounding is because we find later on there is someone who adopted this philosophy of the Nachash HaKadmoni. Remember Pharaoh? Pharaoh said, Mi Hashem asher eshma b'koilai. Who is Hashem? What do you mean, who is Hashem? Didn't Pharaoh hear the Chartumim say, Etzba Elohim he? It's the finger of God. The Shlach HaKadosh explains, Pharaoh knew who Elohim was. You know who taught him who Elohim was? Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef says, Biladai, it's not me. Elohim yaneh shloim Pharaoh. And when Pharaoh heard that, he said, Hanimtza kazeh ish asher ruach Elohim bai. So he had a great Rebbe, Yosef. And Pharaoh accepted that there's Elohim, Hanimtza kazeh ish asher ruach Elohim bai. So he knew Elohim. And when the Chartumim said, Etzba Elohim, Pharaoh said, I know that already. But what I don't believe in is me, Hashem. Who is Hashem? In whose path is Pharaoh following? Pharaoh is following the path of the Nachash. Chida tells us, Midbar Kedemois, Pharaoh was rooted in the Nachash. Likewise, Shla Kadosh says in Parsha Shemois, Pharaoh Nikra Nachash Hatanim Hagadol. And in fact, he is following in the footsteps of the Nachash, acknowledging Elohim, but denying Hashem, Avki Amar Elohim, but not Havaya, Lo Yisaychlu Mikol Eitz Hagan. Now, in honor of our opening day, I'm going to share with you one more Chasam Sofer. In terms of the Eitz Hadas, what's amazing is we know what was the identity of the Eitz Hadas. The Gemara Brachos Daf Mem, Sanhedrin Ayin, brings three opinions. Rabbi Meir says it was a gefen. Nothing brings more klala to the world than yayin. Rabbi Nechemia says it was a te'ena, because that is what they cover themselves in. That indicates that that's what they acted improper with. Rabbi Yehuda says it was wheat. Which opinion do we follow? What's interesting is we find that there are different practices that we have that are in line with one of these opinions. So for instance, our Chaim HaKadosh says that Adam HaRishon was in fact supposed to eat from the Eitz Hadas, but only Friday night when he would make Kiddush on the Yayin. But he had a premature Kiddush, we'll call it a Kiddush club. He had a premature Kiddush, that was his sin. The Shla HaKadosh says the reason why women, the Magen Avram brings, do not drink from the wine of Havdalah is because since Chava was Mavdil Adam from HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Gefen, with Yayin, therefore she doesn't drink from the wine of Havdalah. The Gra writes in the Masarav not to eat grapes on Rosh Hashanah. The commentary on the Masarav, Imrei Shmuel, says that since the sin of the Eitz Hadas happened on Rosh Hashanah, and the Eitz Hadas was Yayin, we try to stay away from grapes on Rosh Hashanah. All of these commentaries are going with the opinion of Rabbi Meir that the Eitz Hadas was Yayin. On the other hand, the Shla tells us that the reason we eat matzah on Pesach is to masakein the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda that the Eitz Hadas was Chita. So we have three different opinions. Either it was Yayin, it was Te'ena, it was Chita. Interestingly, the Ben Ish Chai writes in a number of places that the three holidays, the Shalosh Regalim, are mechaper for the Eitz Hadas according to all three opinions. That's why it says Shalosh Pa'amim Tachayg Li Bashana. Tachayg, Taf is Te'ena, Ches is Chita, Gimel is Gefen. But I'm sure we're all familiar, there's a fourth opinion. The fourth opinion in the Medrash is that it was an Esraig. So actually, there are four opinions what the Eitz Hadas is. So now, we're going to share an amazing Chasam Sofer in the Torah's Moshe, Parshas V'Zos HaBracha, page Pei, that Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim Chayim, all four opinions are true, and I would humbly assert that Shemini Atzeres is regal b'fnei atzmai, and therefore all the four regalim are mechaper for one of the opinions. So Sukkot is mechaper for the opinion that it was an esrog. We take the esrog on Sukkot, and on Pesach we eat matzah to masakin the opinion it was chita. And the Torah is compared to Te'ena. Te'ena, two fruits are ripe today, two tomorrow, two the next day. Likewise, the Medrash tells us the way we learn Mishnah, two today, two tomorrow, two the next day. And then finally, Shmini Atzeres Simchas Torah, we drink Yayin, we're greatly besimcha, it's the happiest day of the year, we're masaking the opinion that it was Yayin. Comes the Holy Chasam Sofer. All four opinions are correct. And this is alluded to in the word Techaya. Techaya is Rashi Tevos, Te'ena, Chita, Yayin, and Esrog, Hadar. Hadar. Te'ena, Chita, Yayin, Hadar. That we're masakein all four opinions, and it will be Mechaya us. It's Techaya us. And says the Chasam Sofer, Techaya is Gematria, Im HaKoilel, Shabbosain, indicating that if we would have waited till Shabbos, like the Or Chaim HaKadosh said, it would have breathed life to us by eating from the fruit. But Adam HaRishon ate it too soon. So, Techaya, during the four regalim, were masakein all 4 dayos, and the chet of Adam HaRishon was precipitated by the Nachash slipping in and omitting the Shem Havaya. So we have to remember at all times, yes, Hashem created nature, and yes, we're fearful sometimes of the vicissitudes of nature, but we're ma'aminim b'nei ma'aminim that at any time Hashem could be mahave, kol ha'havayos, He could override the system, and we hope the Rebbeinu Shalom, in the zchus of our beginning Bereishis and new limudim, Hashem showers all of Klal Yisrael berachamim uveratzayin and protects us. Ad bias koyal tzadek. Agun Shabbos.